First of all, hi.
Hi,
I really
your
want to.
name again?
My name's Selime.
Yeah, Salime. Did
Yeah,
I get the
say
pronunciation right?
yeah. It was very good.
Okay, great.
What about yours?
Angeline, but you can call me Eva.
Eva. Okay.
Yes.
Nice to meet you so much, Eva. I really want to ask questions to you,
Sure.
uh,
hmm
but really wanted to start with, can you introduce yourself for a little?
My name is Evangeline, like I already mentioned. I am coming from Ghana. I'm a Ghanaian. However, I went to Canada for schooling. And so I have been living in Canada for the past 2 to 3 years. And I've had my studies over there as well as like now I am a worker. So I'm under the work permit now.
But
Mhm.
what about your job? Like you said that I think I'm also teaching to the children's. So
Mhm.
I really wanted to ask you about this.
I studied child and youth care in Canada. And with my certificate as a child and youth care practitioner, ECE, I get to teach kids from the ages of babies to pre-kinders. So we call pre-kindergarten students pre-kinders in
Mm,
Canada.
I
Yes. So with that, because I study child and youth care, I got like the ECE certificate as like an additional certificate, which makes me a teacher.
if we go to Canada, are
Mhm.
we have to have a certificate for teaching like you have?
So the thing is, because the teaching has certifications, they would
Mhm.
have to evaluate your certificate.
Mm,
And if it has to be equivalent to like the requirements that they're requesting for.
mhm,
So mine, as an ECE, we have three levels, like level one, level
mhm,
two, and level three. So I have level three because I did my studies in Canada.
mm,
However, if you're a foreign teacher from a different country and you want to teach in Canada, they you can apply for the certification. So before you become a teacher in Canada, you need to have that certificate. So you can
mm,
use the documents from whatever country that you're coming from to
mhm,
apply for the certification. And they would have to evaluate the documents and see which level that it's equal to. So usually I've had a foreign teachers who have gotten level one certification because that's like the least certification in Canada. And level
mm,
three is actually given if you study in Canada. So
mm,
you might be able to work or teach in Canada, but
mm,
I think you might have a level one. If you're able to get some education in Canada,
mhm,
please do so you can become a level three teacher. Because
mhm.
most of the foreign teachers from other countries only qualify for the level one when they submit their documents from the foreign country.
I wanted to ask about like um I think I already mentioned to you, but if I graduate my department, I will become a preschool teacher. This is a
Mhm.
department for it. So I am like preschool teacher. I mean, like when babies till I think 6 age. How is the like for example 6-year-old kid like preschool kid in Canada? How are their days like in school? How are they
Mm.
doing? What are the like activities and maybe quality of the education?
I would say the quality of education would depend on school to school, right? But however, as a level three teacher,
Mm-hmm.
you are termed or you are raised in high esteem, which is that you are termed as a very experienced person because you
Mm-hmm.
have been to like a Canadian institution that they have taught you like and trained you on becoming a teacher, right?
Yeah.
So with that, if you have a teacher in your class that is level three, you can be 80 to 100%
Mm-hmm.
assured that quality education is given to the student. There's
Mm-hmm.
our routine is very basic, and we try to follow the same routine all the time. So usually when they come in the morning, my daycare is they are able to provide them with food. So with
Mm-hmm.
breakfast to lunch, with breakfast and lunch, yes. and snacks. So in the morning when they come in, we try to
Mhm.
give them breakfast. So
Mhm.
I teach it 10 kids. I look after 10 kids. That doesn't mean that every day I have 10 kids. It just means that the
Mhm.
limit of kids that I can teach are 10. So
Uh,
I can have like 9 or 8 or
in
7.
Turkey,
But
do 20.
20, how many teachers?
Like for one teacher.
One teacher to 20 kids?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you feed
It,
them?
no, I think while you're feeding, there is also another woman to help you. But in class,
Oh, okay.
there is almost 20,
Only.
21, 24.
Oh, nice. So that's, you see, that's also like the difference between
Yeah.
your kind of education. So for ours, it's 10 is to one kid. So I
Mhm.
make sure that they have their breakfast, they're well fed. And then within that period, they are able to have some free play activities. So when you
Mhm.
enter the classroom, there are like toys set up on most of the tables and depending on the theme of the week. So every
Mhm.
week I draw a schedule, I change the theme of the week.
Yeah.
So if this week is maybe shapes and colors, when you come
Mhm.
into the classroom, on my table or on the tables in the classroom, I have set up
Yeah.
different types of shapes and their names and their colors, and then they're able to like sit there and free play with the
Mhm.
colors as well as learn. So while doing that, I am setting arts and craft. So arts and craft activities come in here where if they're gonna draw shapes or they're gonna create shapes. So
Mhm.
we give them equipments like safety scissors because then we're
Mhm.
considering the safety as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We have activities like sensory play where we put shapes in the sensory bin. They can dip their hands in the water. They can feel like we teach like texture. So if we have a shape of a square, we're like, oh, can you touch the shape of the square? How do you feel? Is it smooth? Is it rough?
Mhm.
Right? So that's
Yeah.
also like the sensory play comes in. And we have role play as well, where we sing songs of shades, we do dancing, we do outdoor games. And it's just the outdoor games doesn't mean that we are actually going outside, but
Yeah.
there's a playground that's attached to the school building. So
Uh-huh.
it's kind of outside, but then it has a fence around it, like
Mm.
also
I understand.
um considering their safety as well, right? So we
Mhm.
go outside, we play scavenger games. Can you find the shapes outside?
Mhm.
What kind of shapes do you see outside? Do you see the square? Do you see a circle? Do
Like,
you see a
you're
triangle?
trying to integrate it with daily life and
Yes, exactly. So kind of like nature.
mhm.
Sometimes if they're good, if they're listening, if the kids are listening to me, I
Yeah.
kind of take them outside too. Like I just have my safety bag on with
Mhm.
my first aid, and then we go for a nature walk. We go around and then we look at shapes and we identify them. We pick up leaves, especially in the fall, so then we can decorate our classroom as well.
Yeah.
So it's really fun working with the kids if you're really interested in arts and crafts, because as the teacher you will enjoy it as well if you have more and more ideas. And also it's the ideas are mostly online, like Pinterest. There's so
Mhm.
many things
Yeah.
online that you can
We
explore,
are
and
also
then
using Pinterest a lot while we're doing
right.
our homework.
Right. Yeah. So just depending on the theme of the week, the basic routine would be breakfast, free play, arts and craft, outdoor games, come back
Mhm.
inside, free play again, snacks, nap time. We do have nap time because we
Mhm.
consider that children need to rest a lot. However, we are also limiting the time that they rest so they're able to rest at home, because we have
Yeah.
parents complaining that their kids are not sleeping
Mhm.
because we let them sleep a lot in the daycare. So we
Yeah.
kind of like limit that as well. So then we have like maximum 1 hour or 2 hours of sleep, and then we
Mhm.
wake them up so they can have free play. So they're tired. When they go home, they're able to sleep at home as well. So
Yeah.
we're not only considering the well-being and the health of the children, but we are
Mhm.
also looking at the satisfaction of the parents as well. Because a happy parent means that their child is going to continue coming to the daycare, right? And
Yeah.
that's what, like, that's our sole aim, that we're looking at the safety as well as feeding the child and also looking at their hygiene, right? So we do have potty times as well. We have times where we all go like to the washroom, we make sure that we wash our hands. We're teaching all those basic manners and table manners and teaching them healthy food. So some of them, you know how kids are, right? They're like, I don't want to eat this, I don't want to eat this. But then the moment you start saying, oh, banana is good for your health. Do you want to be sick? Well, if you don't want to be sick, then you have to eat a banana. It makes your bones strong. Like you just have to like say something to them for them to listen to you. And they do listen to you, right? So yeah, that's basically the routine of every 4 to 6 year old during their day at the daycare.
Like how many times the children goes out to playing outdoor games or going out? I just
Yeah, so
wonder.
we have a specific times. We do that twice in a day.
In a day.
Yeah, twice in a day.
I
Why?
mention about something in Turkey, like children's going out almost one time in a week.
One time in a week?
Yeah, because
Well,
parents are like hate the kids go out. Like
okay.
they're
Yeah.
really making pressure onto the teachers, and teachers
Mhm.
are afraid to take children out.
So it's actually good if you're teaching your kids how to manage the weather whilst they're growing, right? Because they're
Yeah.
definitely going to grow into it. So it's also part of like the training of living in Canada. So even if it's snowing, we would take them out, but we will make sure that they're safe. We will make sure that they put on their coats, they put on their socks, and they put on their gloves and everything, so they are able to go out and have a safe play. But if the weather is considerate. If it's too much, where in some cases we can have a temperature like -40 or -50.
Oh my
I'm
God.
definitely not taking the kids out in that kind of weather, right? Because I don't want the parents coming in and saying my child is too cold and all that. So
If
even though
if it's like -3, -4, like you cannot go outside with children because
is
they
that
parents are complaining a lot. Like even if it's a
okay?
sunny day, they really don't want to go children's out.
Oh, what is the worst weather condition in Turkey?
Like worst, I think it's really depends on the which city you are, but
Okay.
uh, in here I can say
It could be
maybe
minus what?
13, like in my city, 13, 14, like maximum.
13, 14. That's your
Yeah,
maximum.
minus 13 and 14 in my city, of course.
Our maximum is -40.
And I was very shocked when I heard this.
Yes, you should check out our better. It's -40. So and it's like so even the -20s are good, right? And it's always like that. It's not so I can understand if your parents are the parents of the kids in your country are complaining because the worst is -13. So it's understandable. For you, -13 is hell. But for us, -40 is the hell. So -20 is still heaven. Do you get it? So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's good that you teach the kids weather changes as well because they're gonna grow into it. They're gonna go to school. You're gonna have your kid crying every morning saying, "Mommy, I don't want to go into the snow," because
Yeah,
you didn't teach them that this is the normality here, right? They would
of
think like
course.
there's something different else. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I wondering about what society thinks about the preschool teachers, like kindergarten teachers. What society are they caring about children? Are they giving value of the
Of the
teachers?
teachers. Hmm.
Like, is it really
Oh,
a job? And also, I'm wondering something. What is the salary of the a teacher
oh, which one should I answer first? The salary or the value?
value?
The value, okay. So for the value, I would say that Canada as a whole is it's full of wonderful people. Like the three words that you usually hear in Canada is please, I'm sorry, and thank you. Like those
Oh,
three words are like constant. Everyone keeps saying it. Every little thing they're like, oh sorry, oh thank you, oh please.
yeah, very
Right?
fast.
So I would say the teachers in Canada are valued to some extent, in
Mhm.
the sense that not just about the government paying us, but also like the
Mhm.
parents in the society, because Canada is a very diverse country. Where I work, I had so many kids from different backgrounds. I had kids from China, I had kids from even my own country. I had kids from Ghana, I had kids from Nigeria, I had kids from India, like so many diverse
Yeah.
countries. So whenever parents come into the daycare and they see teachers that are from where they're coming from,
Mhm.
they feel safe and they feel
Mhm.
satisfied and happy that
Yeah.
their kids are in safe hands to some
Mhm.
extent, right?
Yeah.
And we do have parents who come to celebrate teachers sometimes, like Teachers Day. We do have some parents who
Yeah.
come and give us gifts. Sometimes the general holidays, or when their kids have their birthdays, they bring
Yeah.
a cake and we all cut a cake and then we all eat a cake and we're
Mhm.
happy, right? So not
Yeah.
just the government paying us, but also the parents seeing what we do, what we go through in a day. They're very thankful. They come bearing gifts, they come giving us gifts and showing their satisfaction, also their happiness that we are able to take care of the kids while they're away doing other jobs, right? So,
Yeah.
and if you have a good employer,
Mhm.
they occasionally appreciate us, not just like the government like paying us, so we take our pay every end of the month, but
Yeah.
also the parents are satisfied and they do appreciate us in the community.
Mhm.
So yes, to some extent, Canadian teachers appreciate it.
Mhm.
Okay. So
I
with the pay, right?
Yeah.
So with the pay, I mentioned earlier that teachers levels are level 1, level 2, and level
Yeah.
3, right? It comes with a pay as well. Level 1 is different, level 2 is
Mhm.
different, and level 3 is different. If I do vividly remember, level 1 is like the base or average pay for a teacher in Canada should be for level 1 should be like $15 per
Yeah.
hour, $15 to $16 per hour. For
Yeah.
level 2, it should be $16 ish per hour. But for level 3, it should be 17, 18, or sometimes $19 per hour for
Yeah.
level 3. But that's not all. So
Mhm.
this is where the government appreciate what we do.
Mhm.
Due to this subsidy program, we are able to receive bonuses, like
Mhm.
so we are
Mhm.
able to receive additional pay from the government. So
Yeah.
aside the daycare, I use myself as an example. I am a
Mhm.
level 3 teacher. So
Yeah.
I already mentioned my base pay, right? Which is 17, 18, or
Yeah.
19 per hour, right? So the
Yeah.
government additional top up is $8 per hour.
Hmm.
Yes. For level 1, it's I think $2 per hour.
Yeah.
For level 2 is like $5 per hour. But for
Yeah.
level 3 is $8 per hour. So you would say it, let's say the base pay was $19, okay, from the daycare. And then the government adds up the $8. That's what, 27?
Mhm.
So $27 per hour. And you're going to be working 40 hours per week.
Yeah.
So at the end of the month, that's like what, 160 hours for the whole
Mhm.
month, because we get our salaries monthly.
Mhm.
So for the $160 per 160 hours in
Mhm.
total, times the $27 per hour. That
Yeah.
will be the salary of a level 3. So it should be around 3,500 ish to
Mhm.
4,000.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Per
Mhm.
month. Yeah. So that will be the salary of a teacher in Canada.
Yeah. Our My friends are just wondering about it. So you're
Oh,
just
right. Do they
yeah.
want to move to Canada as
Yeah.
teachers? Nice. Like I said, you can move to Canada as a teacher,
Mhm.
but you might have to apply for the certification, right? So you might apply for an I think you should be able to get a level 1, which is still okay, because if you give your time and you're able to get an additional education, you
Mhm.
don't need a 4-year education actually. You can have like a 2-year education or a
Mhm.
16-month education and you'll be in level 3. So
Oh.
it's worth it, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and I understand. I think I don't have more questions. I asked
Okay.
everything. So thank you
Mhm.
so much for
You're
answering.
welcome. I hope I answered all your questions.
Yeah. Thank you so
Great.
much. I think
You're
I don't
welcome.
have any different one. I think that's enough, and that will be
That's
really.
enough.
Yeah, I think that's enough. Thank you.
You're welcome.